the Americana festivals. They were fabulous. Turnpike troubadours and searching for.
Έτοιμοι να φύγουμε. Οδήγησε με ασφάλεια. Σε 200 μέτρα. Στρίψε αριστερά.
I got into country music listening to Bobby Braddock in the 1980s and then Kelly Willis in the 1990s, and she's still my favorite singer of all time. You know, Alan, when I first went to Austin, Texas in 1999, she was known as the voice of Austin, Texas. I saw her several times, and she's doing gigs again now, actually. So I agree with you. She's got such a beautiful voice. And just want to say also hello to Paul from Lancashire. Great show as always, Bob. I was living in Cane Cottage, just south of Boston.
Στρίψε αριστερά.
Country music. I heard that Morgan Wallen was singing in Boston, so she flew out for 2 days and introduced me to country music. We saw Morgan, Hardy.
Σε 800 μέτρα. Στρίψε δεξιά.
Back in the UK and thoroughly hooked. Thank you for the show. And Emma from Derbyshire. I got into country music after seeing Lucas Nelson in The Promise of the Real at Glastonbury on the Park stage in 2019. I then started going to the Americana Industry Festival, which the public can get a wristband for, and I went around tiny venues in Hackney like Oslo and the Moth Club in January, discovering many artists there too. I hope to make it to volunteer at
Σε 200 μέτρα. Στρίψε δεξιά.
artists. That really is the way to do it, Emma. Thank you very much indeed for letting us know. 88291 is our number.
Every Tuesday night on Radio 2, we celebrate
Στρίψε δεξιά.
jazz.
The Jazz Show with Jamie Cullen.
And this July, we're taking that one step further with Radio 2 Loves Jazz. We'll have interviews, special programs, a truly spectacular concert, and more. Whether you're already an enthusiast, totally new, or just jazz curious, we've got you covered. Find out more on
The Jazz Show with Jamie Cullen.
Tuesday night at 9. Ask your smart speaker to play Radio 2.
And this is the Country Show on Radio 2, and this is Marty Stewart.
Σε 200 μέτρα. Στρίψε αριστερά. Στρίψε αριστερά.
Marty Stewart is going to be one of the people at the Albert Hall on the 26th of September, celebrating 100 years of the Grand Ole Opry. And there he was in Studio B in Nashville. Ghost Train, the Studio B Sessions is the title of the album. Marty Stewart and Country Boy Rock and Roll. And the reissue of the week this week comes from a woman that he's loved pretty much all his life, Connie Smith, who brings together 3 of her 1960s albums to CD for the very first time. Soul of Country Music, I Love Charlie Brown, and Sunshine and Rain. Those 3 are joined by Born to Sin, and all 4 of them came out between 1966 and 1968. This is a great example of Connie at her very best. Ain't Had No Lovin'.
Σε 800 μέτρα, στρίψε αριστερά. Σε 200 μέτρα, στρίψε αριστερά και μετά, στον κυκλικό κόμβο, βγες στην 4η έξοδο. Στρίψε αριστερά και μετά, στον κυκλικό κόμβο.
Taking a look at the roads. Thanks, Claire. M4, M32, nice and clear at the moment, nothing to report there. One lane closed though due to an accident. This is on the M5 southbound junction 22, Burnham-on-Sea. Over on the A303 eastbound, partially blocked there as well. Long delays due to a broken down vehicle. That's near Longbarrow roundabout, also causing some congestion just before Barrack St James turning as well. Slow traffic and one lane closed. This is due to an accident on Fishponds Road southbound. That's near Muller Road. And there's one lane block. This is on the A37 due to a broken down lorry. That's on Wells Road southbound from Airport Road to West Town Lane. Also queuing traffic due to emergency water repairs on the A37. That's Hursley Hill, Queens, Charlton in both directions near Gibbet Lane. Temporary traffic lights are in place there as well. And usual congestion. This is on the A303 eastbound around and past Stonehenge. Travel time there is going to take you around 20 minutes to get through there. Queuing traffic on the A39 main in Street westbound. That's near the Royal Oak. And not much happening in Taunton at this time of the day, and Bridgewater, not looking too bad for this time of the day. Over at Heathrow Airport though, if you're travelling today, cancellations for flights to and from and over France due to air traffic controller strikes, and passengers are being advised to check before they travel to the airport today. Nothing to report on the trains though, so that's your travel update for now. If you do spot anything else and it's safe and legal, do give us a call on the usual number.
Yeah, thanks, son.
Call 08000 855 949.
BBC Radio Bristol.
Alright, Singtro, completely stumped. First off, Alex working from home, who normally gets it right quicker than anybody. Gav from Westbrook, equally stumped. Sorry. Cool, this is crazy difficult, says Tina. No idea. Lyrical clue, please. Then, in rings, Evelyn in Bridgewater. Fastest finger first today. Thank you very much, Evelyn. You are correct. Stuart from Nailsea, also spot on. Thank you. David in Taunton, you got it in the end. Yep, you were there. Thank you. Derek in Bath, you are correct. Well done to the Flexo boys. You are correct too. Thanks very much. And then Tony from Hunt Street. Says, I'm loving today's intro, so I'm having a guess at Groove is in the Heart. That's a tune. Groove's in the heart. It's not right. It is not the right song, but I love the attempt. Today's intro, a little bit different from how they sounded this week. Can you name the tune, artist and song title, please?
Connie Smith, isn't that great? Ain't Had No Lovin', Born to Sing, part of our reissue of the week this week. And our Horizon artist has definitely a sort of traditional feel about her too. Taylor Demp, she's from Cheatham County, Tennessee, just about an hour away from Nashville. She wrote this song after she and her boyfriend Brad built a log cabin together. That's where they live now. The song is called Little Spouse.
Swaying with the butterflies, picking petals off of daisies, here lately. Daydreaming blue eyes and how green the grass is, how you're sweet like molasses, apple cobbler in a basket, fresh baked if you're asking. You make me wanna build a log house, little spouse on the prairie, purple brown cows on a hill of blackberries. See the rooster crow make some babies, you'll mend the fences, I'll grow the daisies. Wishes were horses on some acreage, and I'm a covered wagon princess, twirling pretty in a long dress, girls blowing in the sunset. You make me wanna build a log house, little spouse on the prairie, couple brown cows on a hill of blackberries. See the rooster crow make some babies, you'll mend the fences, I'll grow the daisies. Maybe I'd be your little spouse on the prairie. Log house, little spouse on the prairie, couple brown cows on a hill of blackberries. See the rooster crow make some babies, you'll mend the fences, I'll grow the daisies. Maybe I'd be your little spouse on the prairie. I'd be your little spouse on the prairie.
It's only 1 minute 55 seconds long, but I absolutely love it. Little Spouse, Taylor Demp, our Horizon artist this week. And this next track too has a kind of traditional feel about it. This is Chandler Walters.
Nowadays, the Raiders play in Vegas, and cameras got replaced by mobile phones. Taylor Swift moved on to bigger stages, really quit and petty overdose. Half of California moved to Nashville, and half of Nashville turned to high-rise now. No one carries any cash, they swipe or tap to pay our tabs, so no one has to lay their bottom dollar down. That's the game I play when I drink whiskey. Had to get to here from where it was. One thing in this world remains a mystery. Girl, whatever happened forever in your eyes. But all that I remember is being happy. And how the hell did we end up back here? Yeah, that's the game I play when I drink whiskey. Had to get to here from where it was. One thing in this world remains a mystery. Girl, whatever happened to us, 'cause it happened, and it turned all up to dust. 'Cause it happens, sometimes you'll girl, because whatever happened, happened to us. Yeah, that's the game I play when I drink whiskey. Had to get to here from where it was. One thing in this world remains a mystery. Girl, whatever happened to us.
Isn't that fabulous? Really, really good track from Chandler Walters. Whatever Happened to Us is part of the Cadillac Sessions. It's a fantastic album from Ernest that he's put together, featuring artists signed to his DeVille record label. It's got people like Snoop Dogg and Miranda Lambert and Jake Worthington. Some classic covers as well. Really, really good stuff. Chandler Walters and Whatever Happened to Us. And this is really rather good too. Very funky guitar on the front of this, I think. From an album called Don't Mind If I Do. It's Riley Green and Change My Mind.
If you showed up, I wouldn't let you in. We've been down that road before, and I ain't going down that road again. So don't bother calling me tonight. Hey girl, I'm really done this time. So change my mind. Show up in a midnight Sundays. Burn me up with a whiskey kiss. Look at me with them pretty brown eyes and tell me lies just to change my mind. You know I'll give it if I go ahead. Wreck my plans like you wrecked my bed. Do it, baby, like you've done 1,000 times. Change my mind. Change my mind. About the time you let your long hair fall. It's about the time I rethink it all. Girl, the second that you lose that dress, that's the second that I second guess. To tell the truth, I kinda like when you wreck everything. You change my mind. Show up in a midnight sundress. Burn me up with a whiskey kiss. Look at me with them pretty brown eyes and tell me lies just to change my mind. You know I'll give it if I go ahead. Wreck my plans while you wreck my bed. Do it, baby, like you've done 1,000 times. Girl, I'm feeling pretty sure tonight. I'm thinking this'll be a damn good time to change my mind. Show up in a midnight sundress. Burn me up with a whiskey kiss. Look at me with them pretty brown eyes and tell me lies just to change my mind. You know I'll give it if I go ahead. Wreck my plans like you wrecked my bed. Do it, baby, like you've done 1,000 times. Change my mind. Come on and change my mind.
He's got a sold-out tour coming up in September. Riley Green changed my mind from his wonderful album, Don't Mind If I Do. Evening, Bob. Alison, Leon and Pip the dog here, listening to you from our caravan on the Lincolnshire coast. We love Dolly Parton, especially seeing her at Glastonbury. She really is a legend. And from Sue, what got me into country music? It was you, playing Lucinda Williams and Alison Krauss. I was reminded of this whilst listening to Gravel Road just now. It was the early 2000s and I had changed jobs, was listening to the specialist shows at 7 o'clock each evening on my commute home. Thank you for the introduction. I still love those two artists and so many more. Well, Sue, I've got a feeling you're going to love this too. Brand new from Ashley McBride. Anything new from
πλησιάζει σε σημείο ατυχήματος.
show. We absolutely love her. That's her new record, Rattlesnake Preacher, is the title of the track. and from one Ashley to another. This is an exclusive on our show tonight. Brand new from Ashley Monroe. The song is called Magnolia.
Take me down to Mississippi Delta, let it wash all over me. You'll find the gentry at the local parlor, a short ride on the River Queen. She sleeps on sheets of satin, she can't hide her gingham soul. She said, take me to the Delta, put me in the water and free my soul. First step past the Tallahassee Crab Shack, sail on past the river split. You'll hear Josephus on the boat dock singing, bless his heart, he can't sail it. He's still pining for his baby, she left a long time ago. But he said, take me to the Delta, put me in the water and free my soul.
Πλησιάζει σε σημείο που έχει αναφερθεί η αστυνομία.
Fantastic, isn't it? And you won't have heard that anywhere else. It's an exclusive on our program this week, brand new from Ashley Monroe. It's part of her new album Tennessee Lightning, self-released and sounding really, really good. The song is called Magnolia. And just one final email this evening from Jane, who says, I first got into country music after working at the Opryland theme park in Nashville in 1996. I'd just finished university and went to Nashville for the summer with the scheme Work America. Had the best summer exploring Tennessee whilst listening to lots of really good country music. Great to hear from you, Jane. Thank you to everybody who's written into the show tonight. By the way, I took a little pic of all of us a couple of minutes ago with the sunset in the background, and I've just posted it on social media at Whispering Bob on Instagram if you want to have a little look. But our final song tonight, this is the band that accompanied me on my tour last year. Oh, this is great. Music from Old Dominion.
It seems like yesterday I could barely hear your name over the band playing. Leaning on my Chevrolet, or hearing Brace holding my hand, saying, I don't normally do this, but there's something about you and the vibe and the music. It was loving or losing. Yeah, I wanted you so damn bad it was stupid. We were 17, we were making moves, burning gasoline. I was on fire for you. When you drink too much, do you think about us? Do you reach out every mile? Just trying to get out of this loner town, 'cause it never really was our style. Never gonna give up, never gonna let that sound down on the dashboard light. Baby, we were going all the way, baby, we were going nowhere either way. You were by my side, and we were making good time. I got the same black ink as you, with this old tattoo's got some fade. But I bet that Cloverfield still got the lucky that we laid in it. There was no mistaking whatever it was that we thought we were chasing. Not a drop was wasted. Is it just me? Can you still taste it? We were 17, we were making moves, burning gasoline. I was on fire for you. When you drink too much, do you think about us? Do you reach out every mile? Just trying to get out of this loner town, 'cause it never really was our style. Never gonna give up, never gonna let that sound down on the dashboard light. Baby, we were going all the way, baby, we were going nowhere either way. You were by my side, and we were making good time. When you're drinking too much, do you think about us? Do you re-drive every mile? Just trying to get out of this loner town, 'cause it never really was our style. Never gonna give up, never gonna let that sound down on the dashboard light. Baby, we were going all the way, baby, we were going nowhere either way. You were by my side, and we were making good time. You were by my side, and we were making good time.
Just absolutely love Old Dominion. When I was touring last year, I had them just on repeat in the car. They're so good for driving, and that's a track from their new album Barbara. Making Good Time is the song that rounds off the show tonight. But they've got dates coming up as well. The album itself comes out on the 22nd of August. Then the tour begins on Monday, October the 27th at the Ulster Hall in Belfast, 29th at London Eventum Apollo, Thursday, October the 30th at the Manchester O2 Apollo, and then they play in Glasgow at the SEC Armadillo on October the 31st. And they have a new bar open in Nashville, Odie's, and unlike a lot of those artist bars, they do themselves seem to be in there quite a lot. As a lot of UK fans found out recently during CMA Fest, every time they went in there, at least one of the band was there, and sometimes all of them. Hope they brought a round between them every now and again. Old Dominion and Making Good Time. Thanks for listening this evening. I really do hope you have enjoyed the music. Of course, I'll be back with more Sunday afternoon, Sounds of the 70s at 3 o'clock here on Radio 2. Meanwhile, Gary Davis follows the news. I'll see you on Sunday.
This is Radio 2
On BBC Sounds.
and on your smart speaker.
Play BBC Radio 2.
Yeah, I guess the most difficult response has been, well, you look all right. You don't look like you've got Parkinson's. You don't live inside my head. You don't have to live inside my body. Parkinson's, you're all the time, and even now as I'm speaking, I can feel my body physically fighting to control tremors. I'm Sean Stillman, and today, on All Things Considered, I want to share with you my thoughts and reflections for this special programme during Parkinson's Awareness Week. I'm a minister at Zach's Place, which is both a church and outreach to the homeless in Swansea. And I'm also international president of a Christian motorcycle club called God Squad. But like many people with a serious illness, my life turned upside down when I got a medical diagnosis that the weird symptoms I'd felt turned out to be Parkinson's. That was 3 years ago, and this is my story. I'm an ordinary bloke that's trying to work out what it means to follow Jesus, and in my capacity as a minister, I'm trying to see what that looks like to encourage others to engage in following Jesus in the heart of a community. Who is Sean Stillman? He's a husband. He does okay at that, but sometimes he thinks he's a terrible husband. He's a father to 4 kids. The same applies there. I think I do okay, but sometimes I think I could do a lot better. I love my family. I'm an introvert, deeply introverted, which some people are surprised about. I do people well, but it exhausts me, so I need time to recover. I love music, I love the arts. Somewhat a creative thinker, but with an engineering background. That's an unusual mixture of the two. And I'm a biker. Travelled nearly 500,000 miles on a motorcycle over the last, I don't know what it is, 35, 37 years or something. And I'm far from perfect. Several years prior to my diagnosis, I'd started to experience some tremors in my hands and also my leg. And initially I just put it down to nerve damage because I'd had surgery in that arm and also that leg over the years, and I just thought, well, it's just a legacy of surgery and nerves getting old and damaged. So I thought nothing of it for a year or two, maybe 2 or 3 years, but then I started to lose my dexterity. The feeling in my fingers started to go, and I was dropping my bunch of keys, the same key
BBC Radio Bristol.
Thanks very much, Max. Sandra, what say you? Well, the M4 M32 are nice and clear at the moment, but the M5 northbound still slow there. There's a lane closed there as well due to an accident. Junction 17, that is Cribbs Causeway, to junction 16, Gloucester Road. Also causing some congestion to junction 18 as well, the M49 interchange. Over on the Fish Ponds Road, safe traffic there, 1 lane closed due to recovery work and an accident. That's southbound near Muller Road, and queuing traffic due to emergency repairs on the A37 Hursley Hill in both directions near Gibbet Lane. And the A4174 partially blocked there as well. Slow traffic due to an accident. This is on the M32 junction 1 Hambrook. It's actually on the roundabout there. Over on the A303 eastbound, partially blocked there as well. Queuing traffic due to a broken down vehicle. That's near the A360. That's a Longbarrow roundabout, causing a bit of congestion as well just before Berwick St James turning. And also the usual slow traffic on the A30 eastbound around Empire Stonehenge. It's taking around 15 minutes to get through there at the moment. Queuing traffic on the A39 main, and that's street westbound. That's near the Royal Oak, and slow traffic in a couple of places on the A3027 North Street, in Taunton around 4th Street, and thanks to Paula Roddy on the A38 Malago Road towards Bedminster Bridge as well. If you are travelling to Heathrow Airport today, cancellations for flights to and from France. This is due to air traffic controller strike. Passengers are being advised to check their flights before travelling to the airport. Nothing to report on the train today, so that's your travel update for now. If you do spot anything else, do give us a call on the usual number. Thanks, Sarge.
Call 08000 855 949.
BBC Radio Bristol.
Appreciate all
25 years I was dropping the key. Trying to do the zips up on my bike jacket. During the crash out, like trying to put the key in the ignition switch on the bike was becoming awkward. My legs started going wobbly. It's like my knees weren't there. There was a gap. I'd step off a curb, but it felt like I was stepping off something that was about a foot deep rather than 3 or 4 inches. So I decided it was time to talk to my GP, and this was through lockdown. Couldn't get face-to-face appointments generally, but I was offered a face-to-face appointment immediately. And a thorough examination from my GP, testing for reflexes, lots of questions, and at the end of the consultation, the GP said, I think we need to get you to see a neurologist sooner rather than later. Nobody wants a neurologist in their life, but I kind of knew. I knew something was up. My sister is a neurological physiotherapist who has had her own neurological struggles. I've lost a friend not long before with a brain tumour, and I was recognising some of the same symptoms as my friend that had died. My wife had lost a colleague who had motor neuron disease, and there were symptoms we were recognising that were similar there. And a very close friend of mine within God Squad has been living with Parkinson's for 20-25 years, so I'd seen his deterioration of Parkinson's. So I knew there was something neurological going on, but when you don't know what it is, your mind goes everywhere. So I went to see the neurologist again, offered a face-to-face appointment, but I had to go on my own. My wife wasn't able to come with me. And I went to see the neurologist fully expecting to come out of that consultation hearing something like, yes, there's definitely something wrong, but I'm not sure what it is, so we'll send you for a couple of scans. But what I heard was, yes, there's definitely something wrong, and it's Parkinson's disease. And the next part of the conversation was, I probably can't really remember it in detail, but because your head goes into a bit of a spin, but I was offered to go on medication straight away if I wanted to, or wait until another MRI scan was done just to rule out anything else, which would have been things like brain tumours. But I opted to go on the med straight away, and then waited for further follow-up scans to rule out anything else. So I came out of the consultation in a bit of shock, to be honest. In some ways it was a relief to hear it was Parkinson's, because, you know, this brain tumour was on the table. Motor neuron was a possibility, MS was there. So to go home with a diagnosis was helpful, but it was still scary. And to go home to a situation to share that news with family, when our family was separated because of COVID lockdowns, was hard to make those calls to my parents, to one of our kids who lives in a different city to us. It was really hard. And the other thing I remember, particularly from that first consultation with the neurologist, was that when you get home, one of the first things you need to do is to contact the DVLA, the licensing office, and advise them that you have a Parkinson's diagnosis, because it will affect your driving licence. And that was hard, because so much of my life has been on the road. On the bad days, when I feel like, you know, those moments where you feel like it's not fair, where you wish you could do something about the wiring in your brain which is going wrong, when you wish you could
you could make your body function the way it should function, and it's not. They're usually quite private moments, so it's those at home that will see that. It'll be my wife that sees that more than anybody. It's probably worse for her because it doesn't just become a reality. Drive it home to me, but to the rest of us as well.
Just nipping up the garage.
Don't fall over.
Okay, I'll try not to.
You can't pretend it's not real when those moments happen. It just becomes a burden, and it feels like a burden that you don't want to carry, and it does feel unfair sometimes. Can't take that away. It's crap.
So yesterday I fulfilled an engagement that was about 200 miles away. It doesn't seem so long ago. I just thought nothing of getting on the bike or getting in the van and driving or riding that couple of 100 miles and do what I need to do for that hour or two, and travel back again all in the same day. But this is stretched into 3 days. I travelled up the night before, got home late last night, and today I'm absolutely exhausted, absolutely shattered, and it's just so different to how it was.
Okay, keeping physically fit is a massive part of keeping up a grain of Parkinson's at bay. So there's nothing better than doing a run on the days that I can, hearing the waves happen in the background at my north bay. Normally, pre-Parkinson's, Sean's doing his flat now. He gets up in the morning. He doesn't really stop to watch telly or anything like that. He's doing what he's doing. If he's relaxing, he's doing something, whatever it is. And until I, go to bed. And but now I've got probably 5 or 6, maybe 7 hours a day where I feel like I'm really on it, fully functional, thinking clearly enough to function at a high level, and that's it. That's it. If I have 2 really full days, like really full days, going on into the evening, then I'm done for a couple of days, and that is just not me. So that's probably been the biggest surprise.
It's early December 2022. I've generally been coping pretty well with still a relatively busy schedule, but I think this is probably the worst I've felt since I've been on medication, since my diagnosis. Just absolutely hit the wall, no energy. Looking at the list of things I want to get through, and it just seems colossal, and realising my expectations of what I can realistically do day by day, week on week, are still far too high. And it's pretty sobering, really.
From a Parkinson's perspective, yeah, people will say, oh yeah, my grandfather had that, my uncle, somebody had that, and generally they're, but they were much older than you, and then you can sort of see their face changing as they kind of realise what a terrible incident life they had. Oh yeah, my uncle had that. And, it didn't go well, did it? So I'm waiting for my 6-monthly review with my neurologist. So I'm looking here at a list of about 12 different symptoms to talk through and how the meds have been working to improve probably about half of them. But it's a constant challenge really of working out what's a symptom and what's a side effect of the medication. But there's stuff like tremors and dexterity, internal vibrations, which is what I call wobbly legs, my voice is affected, fatigue, muscle cramps and stiffness and rigidity, anxiety and sometimes a muddle and slowness of thought, and my ability to eat and chew and swallow food properly, amongst other things. So there's a whole bunch of things to talk through. But I look forward to these conversations. In my head, I still think I can do everything, but the reality is I can't. I think since the last conversation, that has been the biggest shift. So I've realised I need to use a shovel that's half the size that I used to use to do whatever I was going to do in a day. I realised that some time ago. The next part of the challenge is actually...
Σε 1 χιλιόμετρο, βγες αριστερά.
To realise that the size of the truck that turns up each day that needs unloading actually needs to reduce in size as well. And that's still a work in progress. So that's been a big challenge, but I've actually had to go through the whole process of just coming to terms with what it means to...
Σε 400 μέτρα, βγες αριστερά.
Just being a disability. So there are those moments when you think, oh, there's nothing wrong with me, and then something happens, and you think, oh no, there is. I know I need help in the kitchen sometimes. I'm not always safe in the kitchen. Got burned today in the kitchen.
Βγες αριστερά.
Obviously. Just because of being cack-handed. Just because of my poor handling of a pan. I cut myself more regularly than a knife. I didn't used to cut myself, so I have to pick my moments when I can do stuff in the kitchen.
Σε 1 χιλιόμετρο, στον κυκλικό κόμβο, βγες στην πρώτη έξοδο.
The problem is just the fact that this is different. That troubles me. It troubles me that when I go up to the garage to work on the bike, that I drop the spanners.
Σε 400 μέτρα, στον κυκλικό κόμβο, βγες στην πρώτη έξοδο.
7/16 spanner at the end of the day, it's becomes bigger.
Into what is 5th position, and our 4th of the air, we keep that arm there as we stretch.
Στον κυκλικό κόμβο, βγες στην πρώτη έξοδο.
Well, who'd have thought it? I've even had a go at ballet lessons, especially for people with Parkinson's. But the reality is, if I want to keep moving, if I want to keep riding motorcycles, if I want to keep my confidence about speaking in public, then I have to do things. And ballet is one of those things that's helped my posture, my movement, and also confidence. It also helps me stop falling down the stairs or falling into shock displays, which causes a right scene.
Shimmy down. Nice. Back into our 2nd position. Here. And we're swaying the other way.
I mean, I have to be honest, if I didn't have faith, I'm not entirely sure what I'd be hanging on to. when I told my GP, when I got back from the neurologist to say I'd had a diagnosis, my GP's response was incredibly profound because after expressing, the obvious support that they'd be giving, the practice would be giving, and the whole Parkinson's nursing team would be giving that exists, my GP said, but ultimately I know it's your faith that's going to get you through this, which I actually found quite staggering because I didn't know whether GPs were allowed to say things like that. Out of the whole diagnosis process, that probably meant more than anything, because I wasn't expecting someone to tell me to hang on, that it's my faith that's going to get me through this. I wasn't expecting that prophetic voice, if you like, to come from my GP. But that's what happened, and so it is to my faith that I turn. But what does hanging on, leaning on my faith mean on a day-to-day?
Πλησιάζει σε κάμερα ελέγχου ταχύτητας.
Sometimes it's a brutal honesty. It means that sometimes the brutal honesty of the Psalms is there. Those bits in the Psalms that say, where have you gone, God, this really does not seem fair. And it's not so much about why I got to experience this, because I'm more angry to God about why is my wife got to experience this, why is my family got to experience this, and I guess to a certain extent that's why I'm so fisted. The better I look after myself, both I guess physically, emotionally and spiritually, that's better for my family.
Beautiful, very nice, lovely.
If I sit on my backside and do nothing for the next 5 years, then that's where I'm going to be stuck on my backside for the next 10 or 15 years after that. Whereas if I keep moving, if I keep actively spiritually as well, and I try and look after my mind, body and soul as best I can, that's going to not just be better for me, but better for the family and those around me. And I guess faith-wise, in a weird way, I feel like God has prepared me for this.
Σε 800 μέτρα, στον κυκλικό κόμβο, βγες στη δεύτερη έξοδο.
I studied for a master's in applied theology. My theology, the way I understood God, I was able to bring to a conclusion, bring to a vantage point of seeing something that made sense. Where Jesus was challenged with the words, okay, so what's the most important rule? What's the most important deal?
Σε 200 μέτρα, στον κυκλικό κόμβο, βγες στη δεύτερη έξοδο.
What was known as the Shema, these the words that every good Jew would know, and that was to love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength.
Στον κυκλικό κόμβο, βγες στη δεύτερη έξοδο.
My heart, soul, mind and strength was actually coming from a position of strength. But actually God knows. He knows when we talk about our heart, He knows that our heart is not a pure place a lot of the time. He knows our soul is not a light and airy place, but it's got dark and dingy corners that we're slipped into. He knows that our bodies are frail and get weak. But what a crazy life of extremes this is, getting my head around Parkinson's symptoms. This morning I just felt totally overwhelmed that I had a couple of scripts to put together. One of them I needed to get recorded for today, and a whole bunch of other things going on. Really didn't know how I was going to get it all done. But here I am at the end of the day. I've managed to get everything done I wanted, and I feel really good about it. And I just couldn't imagine that at the start, such as the bizarreness and the fluctuation of symptoms and the unpredictability about it all. And quite remarkable. even though I don't think it's fair. I can live with that unfairness, knowing that somehow God's still in all this. My life is still of some value and some worth to some people, but ultimately to God. But it doesn't take away the pain, it doesn't take away the Gethsemane experiences, it doesn't. Gethsemane is that place that none of us should set up camp, but we need to visit those Gethsemane once in a while with our doubts and our questions, and have a good scream at God and say, is this the road I've got to go down? Is this a cup I've really got to drink? Churches want to sing warm, fuzzy worship songs that make everybody feel good for 5 minutes, but somehow we need the blues. We need that long bending harmonica note that just expresses that agonising pain that goes on and on and on. And this does not make sense, and I'm tired of living with this. Please God, take it away. Please come and visit me in this moment. So yeah, so for me the Psalms, Jeremiah, Lamentations, they're the first blues songs.
Πλησιάζει σε κάμερα ελέγχου ταχύτητας.
Last wedding blessing, and those have been really hard decisions to make. And it's not because I can't stand up and about that, but what comes with all these occasions, whether it be officiating at formal ceremonies or whether it be a public speaking engagement, what it comes with is all the human interaction before and after. And that is what I struggle with. I'm most fearful. I guess I'm fearful about two things. One is not being able to care for my own family the way I want to care. The other thing is I know full well that one of the ways Parkinson's affects people is different muscle groups, and one of those muscle groups is your face. And this will sound really weird, but I don't...
Πλησιάζει σε κάμερα ελέγχου ταχύτητας.
Which is often a common trait within Parkinson's, and I guess if I've got a prayer, it's, oh please God, you know, can I still stay smiling for as long as possible?
You can hear this programme again by clicking onto BBC Sounds and following the links. Details of organisations offering information and support with Parkinson's are available at bbc.co.uk/action line. All Things Considered returns at the same time next week.
μέτρα στον κυκλικό κόμβο. Στρίψα δεξιά και μετά στον κυκλικό κόμβο. Βγες στην πρώτη έξοδο. Στον κυκλικό κόμβο. Στρίψα δεξιά και μετά στον κυκλικό κόμβο. Βγες στην πρώτη έξοδο. Στον κυκλικό κόμβο. Βγες στην πρώτη έξοδο.
Start with a look on the motorways, quick check on the motorways, busy but all on the move nicely. Not so good on the A303 in the south of Gloucestershire. A303 very slow past Stoke. Σε 200 μέτρα, στρίψα δεξιά και μετά στρίψα αριστερά.